I've recorded this video about 4,000 times now, and every time I go to edit it, I'm not happy with the final result. So hopefully this is the final time I'm recording this. It's my Championship playoff predictions. Now, I'd like to consider myself a veteran of the playoffs. I've seen Derby in the playoffs 4 times in the last 7 years, or around that. I'd say we haven't gone up once through the playoffs. You know, we've got to the final twice and lost twice in the final, lost twice in the semis. So I'd consider myself a veteran of the playoffs, and I've got a slight understanding of how the playoffs work. So the first fixture to talk about is the one that's being played tomorrow as of recording this. I'm not sure when this video is going out, but it's Swansea versus Brentford. Now, Brentford narrowly missed out on automatic promotion. Swansea just got into the playoffs on the last game of the season. So two teams that had very different expectations on the last game of the season. Now, Swansea have won the last 2 and are carrying momentum into the playoffs. That's key. Momentum does help in the playoffs. Swansea obviously winning their last game of the season to go into the playoffs. Brentford have lost their last 2 to Stoke and Barnsley, teams that are lower down in the division. So that's a little bit disappointing for Brentford, as they've missed out on automatic promotion. So what are my thoughts ahead of this one? Well, a lot of people would favour Brentford, and I can understand. That team that they've got is amazing. It surprised a lot of people. The front 3, the BMW front 3 has scored a number of goals between each other, quite a high number. I can't remember the exact number. Ollie Watkins is second top goal scorer in the league, so they've clearly got a very good attack. Swansea have got players like Ryan Brewster who've turned up recently and scored some quality goals and important goals. We saw Ryan Brewster score from about 35 yards out against Reading. Another quality player for Swansea is Ayew. I think he's Premiership quality already. Swansea versus Brentford. What am I saying in this one? Well, I'll get straight to it. I think Brentford will win this one just because of the players that they have, and I think they'll narrowly edge it. You know, Swansea, they are a good side and it will be a good matchup between the two, but I just think Brentford will edge it because Swansea have a couple of players out, which is my main concern. I've been speaking to Reese, or Swans Away Days as you lot will know him, and he told me that their main goalkeeper's out as well as a couple of other players. So the second choice players that they have may come in and do a really good job, and they might go on to beat Brentford. But in my opinion, with those players out, I think Brentford will go through to the final in that one. Right, the next fixture I'm predicting is Cardiff versus Fulham. Now, Fulham have been in the playoffs for a while this season. They finished level on points with Brentford. Cardiff, they turned it around after Warnock left the club. So I'm looking at this one and thinking Fulham will do it. There I'm going, I'm saying it. Fulham will make the final because Cardiff do remind me of when Derby faced Fulham in the playoffs with Gary Rowett. We were very solid, very disciplined, and that shines through in that Cardiff team. But the problem I think will Cardiff have is stopping Mitrovic, Kearney, you know, the playmakers in that Fulham team, creating chances and taking chances, because I do think Fulham will take the chances and go to the final. I think Cardiff, you know, they're going to need the players like Hoylett to be on form. But when I look at Fulham's team, I think they'll edge it against Cardiff, and I think Fulham will go to the final. Now, the playoff final. I've predicted a Brentford versus Fulham final, an all-London club final. Now, what do I think in this one? Well, I'm going to go straight in there and predict who I think will win the playoff final and go to the Premier League. Brentford. Now, the reason for that is, like I've mentioned, the team that they've got, the front 3 that they've got, they're just the quality of players shines through in that Brentford side. And I think if they do win the semis and go to the final, like I'm saying, they'll take a lot of momentum from that semi-finals and take it through into the final, and they'll do the job in the final. I'm not saying Fulham won't take momentum, but I'm looking at that Brentford team. It's got quality in there. Fulham's team's got quality in there, but I think Brentford will take more momentum, and I think that will be the difference between the two sides on the day. Now, you will have noticed I haven't predicted any of the score lines in this prediction video because I just think it's too hard in terms of the playoffs. You know, a game could end 5-3, 4-2. There's never really a 1-0, 2-1, you know, easy prediction games. They're all a bit all over the place in the playoffs. So I've not predicted the scores because I just think I'd be completely wrong in most of them. But I've predicted which teams will do what. And I think that's a safe enough bet. Comment down below if you do agree with me. And if you don't agree with me, comment who will win the playoffs. Like the video, subscribe, we're on the road to 2K. Follow my social medias in the description. Let's see what happens in the playoffs.